Good. I too, Minister, when I saw this bill and when we researched it, I said it was feeble and inept. And here we start, at the very start, the first hurdle, we're after falling. When I heard the Senate had 102 amendments, and you rejected all of them, you're not serious about this bill. And the timeline I see will be on here, there's no timeline here, and it's unworkable if you haven't the timeline. Now, Deputy Barrett and I raised this in the Dáil yesterday in a business committee last week, that we didn't have enough time to debate this bill. We still don't have enough time to debate it, and we didn't have enough time for amendments, no pre-ledged scrutiny, nothing. But we're coming from different sides to it. I don't know if Deputy Barrett ever yielded an axe, or drove a mallet, or tried to stab the chainsaw. I say I doubt it, and I'm not against them. But there's more problems here in Dublin with oil spill, with our sewers going into the rivers, into our waters, and with trying to bring water now from Tipperary up to a pipework that's leaking 58% of the water, and the sewerage, and oil, and other bad issues going into the water, and we're killing it in with treatment just to try and treat it. The whole thing is bananas. And Minister, here, go Harry, and Harry, Fianna Fáil and Harry on the Green, you're here now. And it's your time, as Deputy Healy-Rae said. But look, the time will be, Minister Hackett, and I wished you well earlier, it'll be the timeline of a year being banished again from government when the next election comes. It mightn't be long, you were banished before because you're caught up on all the silly things. Instead of looking after people's lives and their livelihoods and allow them to live. I quoted you earlier, and Deputy Barrett in fairness to them said we had helped them to educate themselves around it, and I wouldn't know things about Dublin that he knows. And Mrs O'Connor and the other fellow he got in from someplace 150 years ago, the expert, we said that already. And I went over to ask him, are they both alive? But they're both dead with 150, 60 years or something, whatever. Charles said, Emaha, like the snow off the mountains and the galaxies. But look, this is so sad. You started off here, you have no intention of making this work. You want to pandering to your own supporters, Minister Hackett. Your own supporters, many of them are there. There's one of them I found out today, he's a serial objector. I think he's from my own town, and God knows we went to the same secondary school. But look, I'm not saying he is not qualified, he is. But look, we have to have common sense, and the common sense has gone out the window. And that's the problem with you and the Green Party. The last time you were in power again, you destroyed the coursing. You destroyed every kind of anything to do with rural pursuits. What have you got against rural Ireland? We want to live. Here we don't have the gold and we don't have the silver. We have forestry, we have agriculture, we have arable land. I'm from the Golden Vale, one of the best land in the country, but we have the mountains as well that need to be planted and used. And above all, we can't build and sort out our housing crisis in any way if we haven't the timber to make the roofs. We can't make them with rushes or bloody thatch like you had 100 years ago. I know you'd love to be telling us about all that, Greg, because you won't ever do that either. But I'll give us a decent grant to repair the thatch roofs we have. So it's poppycock, it's nonsense. It's patent blackguarding that you're doing, Minister, from the Greens here. And to think that Deputy Minister McConnell will sit behind you, and his colleagues come in here and speak like we are speaking, and they'll go and support you. It's a downright double act. You're committing fraud on the people, telling you one thing you're going to do, and then support this nonsense of a bill. It's a waste of time. As Deputy Fitzmaurice said, might as well go home now and forget about it, because you have no interest in sorting it out. If you haven't a deadline on anything, you're going over. You have to have a deadline. There's deadlines for amendments, there's deadlines for speaking times here, there's deadlines for everything. Anything we do in the country, for all the other crops, the deadlines, our plannings. Nothing for this. That goes to show, sure, that you won't accept the deadline, a reasonable deadline. I'm not saying don't give people the time. And there's FIs and there's environmental impact studies and God knows what, but this, you're only trying to cut us. But you're cutting yourself. Yourself you're harming, and yourself will be banished from government again. And you'll come back in 10 years' time then again and bet another programme for government with some other fellas that are willing to take you in. You don't understand that you're a farmer and from rural Ireland, and I don't know how much density of forestry you have offered you, a fair bit of it, I think. You should understand this. The backlogs are there. All the harvesters, all the fellas with the replanting and the forwarders, the hauliers, the mills, and above all, you won't have the finished product for your presses or your wardrobes or anything, or even the roofs. So where are we going? I mean, this kindergarten children wouldn't come up with this kind of baloney. They wouldn't, because it's just an effort to let on you're doing something and fool the people. But you're fooling no one. You're fooling no one because someone said the trees from the forest, or the woods from the trees. You're not cutting anyone. This is shameful. Thank you.